New at 6, a report is out on the San Jose Police Department's handling of the George Floyd protests in May of 2020. It's an independent assessment by an outside agency. And as Len Ramirez reports, it is at times highly critical of the department and officers' actions.
Well, in full disclosure, I was one of the people who was struck by a less than lethal police projectile while covering the protests that day. But in this new report from an outside agency, indiscriminate use of force by officers is cited during the critique of the department's handling of that situation. Protests over the killing of George Floyd spilled into the streets in front of San Jose City Hall on May 29, 2020. Now a new after-action report by the independent OIR group says the San Jose Police Department underestimated the size of the crowds and the anger of the people.
Like the police were ill-equipped, ill-informed, and responded poorly.
Sean Cartwright went to the protest to act as a legal observer and was struck and injured by police projectiles. She's now a plaintiff in a class action lawsuit against the city.
And this makes it much more clear that they fired indiscriminately.
The report blamed the department for, quote, inadequate deployment and experience, and said many of the forced deployments and acts of police aggression surprised and infuriated crowd members and at times did more to provoke rather than discourage further resistance. The report goes on to praise many, if not most, officers for restraint under extremely adverse conditions, but said the apparent excessive or malicious actions of a few SJPD members greatly undermine public perceptions of agency legitimacy. The report also credits the department for modifying its response in the days that followed, including increased planning and supervision in the field and doing away with skirmish lines as a tactic.
They've created these skirmish lines that for no reason. And when people do that, they feel penned in.
Since that time, the SJPD has a new chief of police, Anthony Mata. He was not available for an interview, but said in a statement, quote, immediately after and in this past year, we implemented several policy changes and training updates. Many of the recommendations in these reports reflect areas already identified and implemented following our own after-action analysis. The report will go to the San Jose City Council for consideration March 1st. In San Jose, Len Ramirez, KPIX 5.